Hi, in this video we are going to talk about the Tian Tan Buddha on Lantau Island, Hong Kong. The Tian Tan Buddha, also known as the Big Buddha, is a massive bronze Buddha statue located on Lantau Island in Hong Kong. If you're watching this video, we hope you'll take the time to watch it in its entirety and learn more about this impressive and inspiring statue. Tian Tan Buddha. The Big Buddha, also known as Tian Tan Buddha, is famed as the most iconic attraction of Lantau. Sitting next to the Po Lin Monastery, it is only a 10-minute walk away from Gong Ping Village. The majestic outdoor bronze Buddha statue sits solemnly atop the peak of Mount Mukyu. It is seated south and facing north towards Beijing, the capital of China. Divided into two parts, the statue's body is 26.4 meters tall and 34 meters in total, measuring from the lotus throne and the base. It was cast with 250 tons of bronze and built over 12 years. The statue was modeled after Siddhartha, who achieved enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. The imparting fearlessness mudra of the right hand indicates compassion to save all sentient beings from their sufferings. The fulfilling wishes mudra of the left hand resting on the lap implies the vow to grant blessing and happiness to all. Genesis. According to Buddhist literature, during the time of the Buddha, King Udayana of Vatsa and King Prasenajit of Kausala in central India missed the Buddha so much that, when the Buddha was preaching to his mother in heaven, they each asked craftsmen to create a 5-foot statue of the Buddha in Gostursa Kendana and purple gold. This has become the prototype of Buddhist statues. In the ensuing few hundred years, Buddhist followers revered the Buddha, principally in the written and spoken languages, and had made few statues of him. They believe that the Buddha was a sage with full wisdom, and that his splendor was beyond portrayal. Since no man had ever achieved enlightenment like the Buddhas, no human image could be used to represent him. The faithful only used footprints, the Dharma wheel, the Bodhi tree, and the image of deer to symbolize the Buddha's image. In the 1st century AD, some faithful started to advocate paying homage to the Buddha as a way to achieve enlightenment. This marked the emergence of Buddhist statues. Buddhism was introduced into China during the Eastern Han period, 25 to 220 AD. Together with it came statues of Buddhas, bodhisattvas, flying apsaras, and viras. This prompted the development of religious art in China. In the period from the Northern Wei, 386 to 534 AD, to the Tang and the Song, 618-1279 AD, dynasties, Buddhist arts flourished and reached great heights. During this period, large grotto temples were built and statues sculpted in the Dunhuang, Meijishan, Yongqing, Longmen, and Gongshan, as well as in Faomen and Baodingshan in Dezhou County of Sichuan Province. The tradition of Buddhist sculptural art was kept up through the ages ever since. Many of the sculptures have been destroyed and damaged by natural disasters or wars over the years. But today, when we look at the huge sculptures in Longmen in Luoyang or Leshan in Sichuan, we can still appreciate and would indeed be overwhelmed by the splendor and magnificence of the religious art of the old times. Buddhist sculptural art was on the decline since the Ming and Qing dynasties. Large outdoor Buddhist statues have been rare. A fine tradition of over 1,000 years is now almost gone. In 1973, the Venerable Chi Wai, Venerable Yuan Wai, and other monks of Po Lin Monastery were invited for a visit to the Kadon School of Japan. They were greatly impressed by the grandeur and stately Buddha statue of Kamakura. Later, when they visited Taiwan and saw the majestic Grand Buddha statue in Jianghua, they called to mind that at the times when Buddhism flourished, Buddhist statues were always built to symbolize Buddha's image. They also considered adopting the Buddha's image and spreading Buddhist teachings, a well-worth-preserved tradition. They therefore vowed to build a big Buddha statue in Hong Kong. They believed the spirit of tranquility and peace exuded by the Buddha's image, a source of spiritual comfort for people. Their mind could be purified, their worries allayed, and they could reach the state of inner peace. In 1974, Po Lin Monastery was granted 6,000 567 square meters of land in Mount Mukyu by the government, at a nominal premium for the building of the Buddha statue. In 1979, upon the opening up of China, the monks were invited for a visit to mainland. They had the opportunity of seeing the statues of Longmen and Dunhuang for the first time. Filled with admiration and awe, they were more committed to building a big Buddha statue in Hong Kong. They then visited Tian Tan, Altar of Heaven, in Beijing. As the Buddha was often referred to as a Deva of Devas and a sage among sages, the idea of building the big Buddha statue on a base platform of a Tian Tan was thus conceptualized. This is how the statue came to be called the Tian Tan Big Buddha Statue. The concept of building a big Buddha statue received enthusiastic support from various sectors of the community. The Committee for the Construction of the Tian Tan Buddha Statue was formally established by Po Lin Monastery on 26 December 1981 to coordinate the project, including the artistic design and concept of the statue, building material, and details of construction. Do you like this video so far? And don't you want to miss anything about this subject? Then please subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Design of the Buddha statue. The design of the statue is based on the 32 laksanas, that is, physical marks of the Buddha as described in the sutras. The face was modeled after the Buddha Vairocana of the Longmen Caves for its fullness and serene beauty. The clothes and headgear had their inspiration from the soft and smooth flowing lines of the Buddha Sakyamuni image in Cave 360 of the Dunhuang Grottos. The statue was therefore a culmination of the characteristics of sculptural art of the Sui and Tang dynasties, when Buddhism was at its prime, skillfully mastered and conceptualized by the artist to shape the perfect design of the Buddha statue that we see today. The plaster model of the statue was fashioned by Ms. Hu Jinhui of the Guangzhou Institute of Fine Arts. She started work in April 1982. The 1:5 scale plaster model was completed in February 1984, the draft of which had been revisited 8 times, following discussions and consultations with the artist responsible for the conceptual design of the statue. Every feature of the Buddha statue has a symbolic meaning of religious significance. With face like a full moon, a broad forehead, and elongated ears reaching almost to the shoulders, the Buddha is shown to be in full possession of both virtue and wisdom, and the embodiment of perfection. His kindly smile fills the hearts of the onlookers with joy. The usness of pearl and conch hair on the head represent the full wisdom of the Buddha. His green lotus eyes and his new moon eyebrows are depicted in soft lines, symbolizing the eyes of compassion with which the Buddha looks on all sentient beings. Between the eyebrows, there is a curl white as snow and soft as cotton which twirls right, signifying that the Buddha is preaching the truth to all beings. The hands of the Buddha are slender and supple, pliable yet firm. The right hand is in the mudra of imparting fearlessness, indicating the compassion of the Buddha to save all sentient beings from their sufferings. The left hand rests on the lap, with the palm turning up and fingers pointing slightly downward. This is called the Mudra of fulfilling wishes, implying the vow to grant blessing and happiness to all. On each of the palms is a Dharmakakra, wheel of the law, signifying that the Buddha truth is eternal and will spread to the 10 directions of the universe. The sign on the chest represents that the Buddha possesses all virtues. The Buddha sits cross-legged on the lotus throne, like a lotus which grows out of sludge, symbolizing that the Buddha is pure and without any defilement. He can live in this world of turbidity and save all recalcitrant and unyielding beings. The statue is full-bodied and peaceful. The statue is majestic and refined, conveying the Buddha's spirit of compassion, loving kindness, and impartiality. Casting and assembly process. The original idea was to use reinforced concrete for the building of the Buddha statue. However, due to artistic requirements, structural problems, as well as the anticipated difficulties in quality and cost control, bronze was finally chosen as the building material. The actual casting, finishing, and assembly of the Buddha statue were principally carried out in the Nanjing Qingyuan machinery plant of the China Astronautics Science and Technology Consultant Corporation. The project was divided into 6 stages. The Big Buddha statue was elected as the 4th of the 10 engineering wonders in Hong Kong in 2000. The top 3 were all public works projects, the first being the Lantau Link, the second, the Hong Kong International Airport Passenger Terminal, and the third, the Hong Kong Convention and Exhibition Center Extension. Of the projects in the private sector, the Big Buddha statue came as the first. The Big Buddha statue is the culmination of Buddhist sculptural art of the old and of the contemporary. It combines traditional bronze art with modern science and technology and embodies the harmonious resonance of Buddhist spirit and modern civilization. A solemn epitome of human beings' continuous and unyielding pursuit of moral happiness and peace on earth. That's all for today. Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for upcoming amazing and informative videos.